Good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday. How's everyone doing this morning?
Good morning.
Hey, good
Yeah.
morning. Happy
Woo.
Saturday.
What a day.
All right.
Happy
Good morning.
Saturday.
Yes, it is. And we've got people from all over the place, Michigan, Florida. I'm in Michigan, and I am actually at a 5K race that my wife, Emily, is running in this morning.
He's at a 5K race that his wife is
if there's
running.
some
That's why.
and we've got some background noise there. So if you're on,
Laurel,
please
need to mute.
Is that Laurel? All right, Laurel, we're calling you out, girlfriend.
I didn't
All
do it.
No worries. So we've got an exciting program as always, and we have some docket items that we've got lined up. I'm going to do a docket item on the work of Dr. John Travis, and some of you might not be familiar with him, but you'll be familiar with him after I kind of complete my piece. But it's on what's called the wellness continuum, and it kind of reframes health and wellness. Obviously, very, very relevant to us in Health Point. And then I know, Carol, you've got a docket item where you're going to be chatting a bit about our upcoming cohort. And so we're looking forward to that. And so, guys, I'm on my mobile phone, so I am going to grab my docket item. So pardon me while I grab that and go through it. Be right with you here. Okay. And just so as for a sound check, if somebody can tell me that they can still hear me. Can you still hear me?
Perfect.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great job.
All right. Let's go through this. And I'll be sure on the upload of this episode to the Voices of Health Point YouTube channel, I'll be sure to have this image as the cover photo for that episode. And what it is it's, if you can picture an arrow going left and right as a continuum, that is what's called the wellness continuum. So let's go through that. When most people hear the word health, they tend to think in black and white terms. You're either sick or you're not. If you're not in the hospital, not on medication, not visibly struggling, then the assumption is that you're quote unquote fine. But Dr. John Travis, one of the early pioneers of the modern wellness movement, proposed a deeper and more dynamic view, one that has quietly shaped many of today's leading approaches to integrative health. In the 1970s, Dr. Travis introduced the concept of the wellness continuum. Instead of seeing health as a fixed point, a box to check once you're quote unquote not sick, he challenged us to think of it as a spectrum, a scale that ranges from deep disease on one end to vibrant, high level wellness on the other. At one extreme is premature death, often due to chronic illness, environmental toxins, poor nutrition, or sustained stress. In the middle is a neutral zone, no obvious disease, but also no real vitality, just surviving. But on the other end lies something more hopeful and inspiring, true wellness. This isn't just about a clean bill of health from your doctor. It's about feeling alive. It's about the energy to do what matters to you. It's waking up without pain, moving your body with confidence, thinking clearly, sleeping soundly, and feeling purpose in your day. Travis described this end of the continuum as a quote unquote ongoing process towards higher levels of functioning, a place of resilience, joy, and alignment. This perspective deeply aligns with what we do in HealthPoint. While weight loss, blood sugar regulation, and inflammation reduction are common starting points, they are not the destination. They are catalysts, doors that open us up to a new way of living. The real aim is not just to eliminate problems, but to build lives that are strong, sustainable, and joyful. The power of the wellness continuum is that it removes the illusion of stasis. You're never simply holding still in your health. Every choice you make, every glass of water, every meal, every walk, every hour of sleep, every decision to breathe deeply rather than react with stress shifts you either to the left towards dysfunction and disease or to the right towards wellness and strength. That may sound intimidating at first, but it's actually empowering. It means you always have agency. No matter where you are today, you can begin moving in that right direction. Not by overhauling everything overnight, but by making small shifts, ones that compound over time. This is why our 6-week cycles in HealthPoint are structured the way they are. They're not crash diets or quick fixes. They are rhythmic, repeatable opportunities to lean further into your own vitality. And as each cycle builds on the last, clients begin to see that health isn't just about losing weight or fixing labs. It's about regaining momentum and vision, about realizing that your best years are still ahead of you. For coaches, this model serves as a compass. It reminds us that we're not just guiding people away from disease, we're helping them move toward something better. For clients, it provides language and framework to understand the deeper why behind each step. This is not a temporary project, it's a lifelong investment. This is the real goal, not just avoiding illness, but creating a life filled with strength, purpose, and possibility for ourselves and for those that we care about. Okay, so that's the from the work of Dr. John Travis, somebody that has been a big part of a lot of the studies that I've gone through. He's often referenced. And again, it's real clear, real simple when you look at that visual, which I will get up on our YouTube channel. But yeah, if anybody has any comments or questions or anything on that, of course, this is where in our walk and talk, it's all about the round robin dialogue. But other than that, we can move along too on the docket item. So any thoughts or comments?
Well, I'd like to put a plug in. He sounds like he's an Amway diamond.
Yeah.
And I guess I can probably flow right into whatever little topic I wanted to promote here because it fits in so well, and I wasn't planning on doing it to the end. Let me put this down here for just a second so you guys can hear me and understand me. Yeah, as I'm listening to him, what Hank so clearly brings out all the time is the health span versus the lifespan. And I came in and I don't know if it was Erica or Kathy or who it was talking about Bruce and Eileen and their travels and what have you. And this all goes back to quality of life. And so I would say the beautiful part of the HealthPoint app that we have now, the global one, is that it starts as we get on our wellness journey. It starts to expand our mind into the possibilities of creating either a HealthPoint coaching business or a general overall Amway business that the HealthPoint coaching fits in absolutely beautifully like a glove. And I love that they sprinkle in things like Man with a Dream Cannot Be Denied, the Butterfly Effect, Ray Keller, that was, and the first one was Louis Carrillo, and a number of really, really good audios that have been done over the years to help a person expand their mind as to, yes, we all start out and we want to be healthy ourselves, and maybe we want to lose weight ourselves. But it's so much more than that when we start to realize that we also want to become less toxic in our thinking. We want to be more well-read. We want to be more educated in the field of health, which is becoming fast, very, very fast. The major impetus of our business is the general health. Good morning, Ellen. And so I think that it just really starts to prime an individual into seeing so much more once they get into the Health Point program. And some of you might be new and first timers and just getting started in your walk. And this is not meant to scare you or any of that. All it's meant to do is paint a larger picture because, as your gentleman said, Travis, I think Mr. Travis.
Yeah, Dr. John Travis, yes.
Dr. John Travis, as he said, it's the how you spend the later years. And, I'll just use Hank and myself as an example. When we were I was in my 30s, and I think Hank was just at the end of his 30s, approaching 40s, is when we decided we would become entrepreneurs. We had been looking. and the Amway business came into our spotlight. And we had no idea back then the compounding effect it would have on our lifestyle over the years. All we knew is we wanted to travel the world, which the Amway business allowed us to do so many countries, and still traveling today, not so much internationally, but across the United States. But more than that, it's not just travel or whatever. It's the vibrancy of life. It's waking up in the morning and having a reason to wake up. Helping people, helping ourselves, learning more about health, learning more about all of the things now. The whole environment is feeding into our business. And I remember Jay Van Andel years ago, oh, many years ago, saying that someday we'll be able to eat our way to success. And we all laughed at that. But honestly, if you think about the huge amount of volume that moves through a business builder is the nutritional part of our business, which is primarily consuming, whether it's physically eating or consuming in other ways. And we didn't realize that at the time. We laughed, but he was a visionary and we were visionaries, and many of the people on this call were visionaries, and they just started building. I mean, I look at the webs, I look at the vests. They started building business when we didn't see the total picture. And today, as we move on in our years, and I'm sure that Hank and I are the oldest of old of all of you, but it doesn't mean that we are old mentally. And we wake up with challenges in our business, things to uncover, opportunities, new growth, all kinds of vibrant stuff that feed a healthy lifestyle. And so it's physically, yes, we learned that many years ago through the beautiful Health Point, Nutrilite, excess energy, artistry, skin nutrition, all of those things we learned long time ago. Now we can teach them, we can help other people, we can continue to grow, find answers for people, and at the same time, have the flexibility to do what we want when we want to do it. So the reason I'm saying that is certainly not to blow our horn, because we have people on this call that have bigger businesses than we do. But to say that we're so glad that we just decided we'd take a step and start expanding our community, because who knows, as we didn't 20 years ago or 30 years ago even, who knows where this business is going to take us with all of the different uncoverings, with the whole United States of America and RFK and Casey Means, all of this feeding us and making us aware of health, how much we can help other people and grow a business at the same time. And in 10, 20, 30 years, however old you are, you can have that same vibrancy that you have today, because they said the secret to old age was aging successfully. The secret to aging successfully and healthfully is having a reason to wake up, someone to love, and something to look forward to. And this business provides it all. And the first thing that we do is we take care of our mental and our physiological and our psychological health. And then we can reach out and help other people through this wonderful business model. So, what all that being said, what I wanted to do is encourage all of you on the Health Point Global app. Um, Nicole Baines and Katrina Boyle and many of the speakers talk about paying it forward. And I love that term, and I've been using that term more and more. We have gotten a golden nugget. Now it's up to us to pay it forward to other people that want to learn, not forcing people, but people that want to learn. And Eric put together, and I'll give you total 100% credit for this, Eric. Eric put together on for the April 7th cohort a I call it a Health Point invite and bullet points of what the Health Point is all about. And it is so great. He just touches on everything in a short document that you can send out to people, because I'm one of these. Believe it or not, I am a sanguine, but I look 2, 3 weeks ahead and trying to keep my brain organized as to what's coming, what the needs are going to be, and what we need to focus on. And we are moving into our week number 4. And so that's Monday night. And so the following 2 Mondays are our metabolic adjustment, which means that we are on the last 2 weeks of our cycle, which means that we need to now, not week 6, we need to now think about who can we pay this forward to, who has been commenting, who's been expressing an interest, or who expressed an interest a while back and then just fell off the radar screen. So now's the time to be thinking about that. And I'm going to be asking either Eric or I know Laurel, one of you that's willing to step up to the plate so that I don't have to do another job, is to update it for the next cohort, which is number 6, which to my knowledge, if my math is right, starts August 11th. Now you think August 11th, wow, we're only in mid-July, but now is the time. Now's the time you want to get people on board. You want to get people placing their orders, learning more about HealthPoint, determining that, yes, they do want to um, uh, get on board with a program, lose weight, get healthy, and start our lean team. And he talks about starting fresh and building momentum. And it'll be the August 11th cohort number 6, could be the most important 6 weeks of your year. That will be the edited edition that we send out. And I'm hoping we'll be able to do that in the next few days. Hint, hint.
Sure,
So
I can do that, Carol. I think you sent it to me
thank
on
you.
Google
Yes, I
Docs.
did. Thank you,
Yeah,
Laurel.
I'll do that.
Fabulous, fabulous. Thank you. This is why our community is so important. People like Laurel stepping up and saying, I can do that. That is music to Eric's and my ears. So,
Thank you, Laurel.
yes, thank you. Just a few of the dockets he hits on here is what is the, oops, I got to get out. Someone needs to get out of their driveway. I'm in their driveway. The first one is what is the HealthPoint Lean Team? So he goes into that very, very quickly, very concisely. So people aren't going to be reading through pages and pages of information. Then the second one, excuse me, little road noise there. Okay. I'm on a new location here. The second one is structured eating plan, which is one of the program highlights. And he goes into that. Foundational essentials for optimal health, 3 bullet points. Why the program works. It's a holistic approach, focused habit formation, community support. I mean, these are just succinct, clear, concise, and crisp. And I can't think of a better quick promotion of the health point than the crispiness and the spot on bullet points that Eric put together on here. The fourth one there is sustainable results. And then it goes into your health journey, includes a customized guidance based on your starting weight, goals, and dietary needs, practical tips for meal planning, carb tracking, and healthy snacking, which is another topic that we're going to be emphasizing here in the next week, and inspirational success stories. And gosh, haven't we had the wonderful success stories? And I can just tell you that Monday night, we're going to hear a continuation, what was the word you used? Continuance? What was the word that Dr. Jarvis used?
Continuum.
Continuum, yeah. We're
Yep,
going to have a
yep.
continuum of Laurel Jones's story, Laurel Bennett Jones and her success, and then the key dates to remember, and then we're going to change that. And then it talks about please contact the person that gave you this. So now is the time you want to start, because remember this, they have to get an order in, they have to mentally start. Once their order is in, they have to get organized on their HealthPoint Global app that you're going to provide for them. And then they have to start the 5 prep days before they start the cohort, before they start their actual program. So there's a lot of prep work. There's at least 2 weeks of prep work that goes into getting a person properly started. So even though we've got people starting on a weekly basis, and this is great, when we start a new cohort, it gives us an additional impetus to reach out and start paying it forward. So Eric, once again, thank you so much for all you do. Lavelle, did you want to say something? Oh, okay. Anyway, thank you, Eric, for all that you do on putting these kinds of things together. just everything that you do, putting the walk and talk together. Laurel for helping to update it and keeping us clean and crisp so that all we need to do is pay it forward to people. So that's my message for today. So back to you, Eric.
Oh, I love that. So many elements of what you went through that I could just enjoy expanding on. But just at the heart of it is the pay it forward, the PIF, and that flyer. It does make it easy. It makes it easier. It's like Carol was saying. It's really kind of simple, clear and crisp. It provides enough information. You know, if somebody's at that readiness level, it makes it really easy for them to kind of get the information that kind of fills in the gaps on any questions that they have and so forth. And really, another thing to your point, Carol, it does take some time. This isn't something where we want to wait until the night of August 10th to be doing.
Right.
And you are correct. That is August 11th is a Monday start of the next cohort. And you know, in my experience, you've got to be prepared for that new person to take a little longer than you might expect or think to kind of get started. It's for those of us that are in this, you know, world of Health Point, either as coaches or clients that are on, you know, our fourth cycle or something like this. This seems pretty easy, pretty intuitive. We've got a rhythm to it and so forth. But, you know, for somebody that's brand new, it's you know, there's some things that, you know, they've got a busy life and all of a sudden they're, you know, making this a priority, and everything from, you know, how do I get that app again? You know, those kinds of things to, I've got somebody right now that is, you know, they're trying to get their Ditto order put together, and, you know, I think I just need to get in there and just help them do it directly, because something that for the rest of us is very simple in terms of creating that order and just processing the order. You know, I think we're on day 4 now with this individual, and this is a smart individual, but there's just something that is like clunky. So again, you kind of got a real key point, Carol, that you're making there, and that is that now's the time. Today, you know, today and tomorrow is a time to start. But yeah, we've got fortunately so much that we can offer to people, and it would be a shame if we enjoy this health ourselves, enjoy the changes that we've experienced, and we just kept it to ourselves. One thing that's very fortunate about this model of wellness, particularly on weight loss, is what we refer to as the VV effect. It's visual, it's viral. And so you've probably had people that have asked, and, you know, those are great people to, you know, email this flyer out to. Hey, you know, I know you asked about, you know, what I was doing to change my life. And we've got some background noise. Thanks, guys. We've, you know, if they've asked, you know, you can send a flyer and make it real easy for them to get the information that they're looking for. And, you know, there's usually some people that are top of mind like that, and, you know, kind of easy ones that you can do a reach out. And if you're not quite sure, ask your coach or somebody that you're working with to kind of help you with reaching out to them. You know, if you're not used to doing that, maybe get a little bit of help. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I'll open it back up, of course, to anyone else that has some comments.
Eric, I just want to mention, and then I'm going to keep my mouth quiet for the rest of the time. But
no, keep talking. We love it.
But the words community and club come to my mind. And I've mentioned this before. Saturday morning walk and talk in particular is a community. It's not a club. Now, if you don't want to pay it forward or you're not ready, hey, listen, no pressure, no judgment. This is a no judgment zone. Please, please, please understand that. But if if you've had success, we don't want this just to be a club where people check in. We want this to be a community of people joining in. Checking in and joining in are two different things. And the richness of Lean Team or the richness of Saturday morning is people joining in, bringing something to the table, offering to do something. That's a community of people working together. So I did want to make that little clarification. So back to you, Eric.
No, I love it. And, you know, you've mentioned that before, and I just think it absolutely deserves punctuating. You know, their clubs are, again, almost you can think of like a clique or a club. And a lot we could talk about on that, but this is a growing community. This is, again, it's very natural that it is, because so many people, as they go through their journey, have people asking them, you know, how did you do this? You know, what are you doing? You know, I've known you for 20 years and you look great. You look like you've lost a bunch of weight and so forth. And, you know, I tell you, it's kind of going back to what you were opening up with, Carol, regarding yours and Hank's journey and, you know, entrepreneurship. And I just want to touch on that as, oh, we've got some background noise. I'm going to do a mute all here is what I'm going to do here. Let me do a mute all.
Thank
So,
you, Eric.
Okay. So that means that anybody that's ready to talk, you have to unmute yourself. So, you know, there's two things that are really, really clear and evident in the marketplace right now, just in society. One is, you know, how to get healthier. You know, the numbers, we could cite the numbers, how many 100 million people in America are checking in at pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic, and what that means over time to their health. And, you know, what is it, 9 of the 10 leading causes of death are, you know, correlated with metabolic syndrome. So there's a big need, a big cry out for people that are looking for help to, you know, lose weight, get healthier, have the accountability. Boy, I had I think like 18 appointments this week. And people, without me mentioning it, they're saying, I want a structure. And, you know, that's what we've got in Health Point, is we've got a track to run on. We've got a 6-week cycle. We've got a community. We've got that structure. So there's a huge amount of people that are looking for that. And really, it's just a matter of letting them know that you've got an option, and it might be helpful for them. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be an entrepreneur yourself. You could just refer this to your coach. But the other huge need that I'm seeing out there in the marketplace is the desire for business ownership. And that is, you know, for a variety of reasons, I think it's always there, but I just think it's a combination of people just continuing to get shook up in their otherwise, you know, quote unquote, stable jobs. I mean, I'm here at on this walk and talk, as I mentioned, this is a big employer behind me. I mean, look at that building right there, okay? That is a big employer. I know senior VPs inside that building. I know the same in the building down the road, another major employer. I want to tell you that those individuals are not necessarily feeling incredibly secure in their career, in their income. And, you know, for that reason, and you can go across industries, this happens to be, you know, kind of technology and administrative. And I mean, there's all kinds of roles, of course, in there. But it used to be that, you know, if you were, say, in this building, it might be a lot of technical people. And if you had, you know, some strong technical degrees and, you know, that was kind of your passion and you put a lot of work and education into that, that was, you pretty much, as little as a few years ago, you pretty much had people banging on your door, making you offers. It's amazing how fast that can change. And in fact, I remember, I won't mention by name, but actually he is, I want to say a senior, no, I'm sorry, he's left here. Okay, the individual I'm thinking of has left here. He's now working for a different company, but he was a senior person here in this building. And I remember, Emily, and if you're still on this, I think you're running your race right now, but we were having dinner with he and his wife, and I think his kids were there. And this was during the time where it was an employer's world. This was kind of coming out of COVID, the tail end of COVID. It was work from home. It was, I will tell you, my employer, how I want to work. And if you don't like the way I want to work from my home, you can pack it, because I've got 7 other offers from companies that are just, knocking down my door, trying to hire me. And they're all upping the ante on the package and so forth. That was just, that is recent memory. And I remember him because he had perspective on this. And he just said, we were just talking about how that was the environment. And he's like, Eric, that's the environment now. Okay. I can assure you, in a short number of years, that is going to swing. And oh my gosh. And this isn't, I'm not trying to paint a picture of like, don't get a job, don't value your employer, that's none of that. It's just the ebbs and flows, and do you have control? I was looking at some recent RIFs. Okay, so that's where companies are just laying off tranches of people. I actually have a new business owner that her family just moved from California to another state. Both of them got impacted through RIFs. He's a kind of a technical recruiter kind of a guy, and she's in another industry, but they both they saw it coming. There were some people around them that got laid off as the company was restructuring, so forth. AI is having a big impact on that. I think AI has a tremendous benefit, and that's my personal view. But it also, there's no doubt, it's having impact on people's jobs that didn't see it coming before. Microsoft laid off some 6,000 people, and then I think I saw that they laid off another 9,000 people. And usually you would see this correlate with company profits, where you would see, okay, a company is struggling, from a profit standpoint, their earnings or something. That's not the case with Microsoft. You look at their first quarter earnings, they beat, all expectations. They are ripping it in terms of their earnings. And yet with that, they laid off 6,000 people. So what's the point there? If somebody in that realm or other industry is just for their own health, looking to get healthier, they just walk the talk, right? They just do their 6-week cycle. They build a little understanding, a little bit of confidence, and it could be just for their own health. But as they lose, particularly once they get around 20 pounds, people are inevitably going to start asking them. And that's where it's very natural to be able to, start building a book of business. And guys, what was it that we heard in the training when we were in May with some of the Australians? They had 4 years ago started with, it was like 2 people or 4 people in New Zealand. And now there's over 1,000 people, on the program, because this is very viral. This is very visual. And so, somebody that has a desire to have a plan B income, they like, what it's done to their own health. They're very authentic, very, have high conviction about that. They can help a lot of people, and they can also, help themselves. There's good money, big money in health and wellness coaching. And so I just see that as 2 big things in the marketplace. I guess to summarize my point is that there's a big need for people to get healthier, and there's a big need, a big cry out, a lot of people looking for something that they can do to have their own business, and this could be one of those options for them. So I'll toss it back out to whoever's next.
I'll bounce off. Eventually I'm going to get back to your beginning.
Yes, let's do it.
But Hank and Carol were helping me with a young man, 20 years old. And in our Zoom meeting, one of the questions I asked him was to look around. His father's very successful in the corporate world. I said, but look around at all the people you know who have a job, who have a W-2. Who do you know is free? And most of the people who are free have a 1099. And it's not 1099 isn't a guarantee, but it's the pathway most common to freedom. So talking about getting involved in the business. And then the other part, and again, I'm a teacher. So I often like people to look at other people and not themselves as that comparison, like I just did with Wyatt. My grandson was concerned because he had heard that our president is sick. And he asked me, wanted to know how sick is he? And one of the problems my whole family has with me is that I'm a teacher. And so I shared with him that the calf muscle in your legs is like your second heart. And his calf muscle isn't doing a real good job of pumping the blood from his feet up to his heart. I said, so it's not serious today, but if he doesn't make some serious life changes, it will be. And then I put the dagger in on him, and I just said, daily bad habits, and there's no consequences. Easy ways to pain. So one day you wake up 10 years later, so my grandson's like 22. You wake up 10 years later, you're 25 pounds too heavy, and the doctor's putting you on blood pressure medication. Why? Bad choices, one day at a time. All good things are uphill.
Love that.
And,
Love that.
And Eric, this is Sharon. I just want to say thank you, first of all, you and Carol both, for putting these things together. But this has been so encouraging because when you talk about a wellness continuum and you talk about that all you have to do is make easy choices of step more. Every glass of water you drink, I mean, you just keep it so simple. As a matter of fact, I had another glass of water while you were while you were talking. I thought, okay, there's a good chance for me to get some more water down. But you know, this is a business in a community where there's not judgment, there's encouragement. And so what we want to do is encourage each other to make those small steps and continue uphill, continue forward, as was just mentioned. And so I just want to thank you for that reminder. It's the same in the business. If somebody beats themselves up because they haven't done anything in the business for a while, no, that's not, I mean, that's the past. You just make another small step to get started. You talk to somebody, you pay it forward, as Carol says, whether it's with health, whether it's with the business. I mean, there's so many ways in life that we can pay it forward to people. And just such important things to remember. And like our step queen, Kathy, I just want to, I would encourage her, you know, she has 3 years and so many months or whatever. I would encourage her to keep that streak, to say that. She needs to say, I have 3 years and 8 months, or now I'm making it up, I don't know what it was, minus a week. You know, because then she's got that streak. I mean, that's encouraging. And it's encouraging for people that may miss a day or may, you know, to say, okay, I have 3 months going minus 1 day. And so we just need to remember that it's always small steps. It's the everyday decisions, as was mentioned. And so I just want to thank you so much for all of those reminders, whether it's our health or our business. We just have every opportunity to continue to pay it forward. And we have said for years and years and years, if somebody can be hired, they can be fired. And so, like, what we want is a 1099. So just realize that we are helping people in many areas of their life. And, and that's rewarding if you can turn people's health around, or their family around, or their finances around. That it's just my goodness, what a great reason, as was mentioned earlier by Carol, to wake up every morning, to have someone to love. So anyway, I just want to thank everybody on this call for their input and their encouragement always, and for just knowing that we are a community, not a judgmental community, a community to, okay, let's get back to it. Great, okay, that was the past. Now let's get back to it. You know what to do. Take another step forward.
I love that. It's so spot on. On that wellness continuum, and to your point that you're
Hey, I want to jump
emphasizing,
in.
Sharon, is that when you look at that continuum, Dr. Travis says it's less about where you're at, and this will make more sense when you actually see the image. It's a very simple image, but which direction your arrow is in. Okay, so you're never in stasis. You're either moving in the direction towards wellness, or you're moving in the direction towards sickness. And so what you're pointing out, Sharon, and I love it, is you can make a choice if your arrow is pointing that way, whether that's in business development or your health or anything in life. It's a simple, in the moment choice to take that directional step in the direction towards wellness, or the direction you want to go in. You can turn that stasis on a dime. So somebody else said that they wanted to chime in. Certainly chime in, whoever's there. Oh, I think it's Bruce and Eileen. Good morning.
Oh, hey Eric, I don't know if I don't. Nobody else is.
Yeah.
Did you want say something, Eileen, or no?
She is. Something's up with her audio. You are unmuted, it looks like, Eileen, but we can't hear you. So while we get that straightened around, Kathy, go ahead and jump in if you've got something.
Okay, yeah, I kind of do. So first of all, Sharon, thank you. I think it's day 25 today, back on the streak. So thank you. I guess I will continue it and say minus 1 week. So I appreciate all your support for that, you guys. But I actually want to.
Absolutely. We're behind you, Kathy. You just say your streak minus a week, and we cheer that on. Yes,
I agree. That is a way to frame it totally, and because it makes it real as well. I think you become relatable at a certain point, Kathy. But if you can say, look, my streak is such. I did have a week where I had, what do you have, like a root canal or something? I mean, come on. So a streak minus a week. I like how it rhymes too.
Yeah, that's cool. We're back.
Okay. Did you want to share something? Go ahead if you did.
I did. I wanted to share, Kathy, how encouraging your missing a week was, because we also try to do it continually, and then sometimes life gets in the way. I had a shot in my knee. You're supposed to rest for 24 hours, blah, blah, blah. So I love how long you've done it, but I think it's still awesome, even minus whatever. So I wanted to say how encouraging you are, and don't worry about missing, because it makes it okay for the rest of us. Like, we're not, you know what I'm saying? We want to do it, but we can't, and we keep trying. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. I saw all the hearts coming through on Zoom Monday night when I was talking when Sharon had said that. So that was very, very heartwarming. So thank you. So I wanted to piggyback on something that David had said, because again, I just love these little emails that I get from James Clear with Atomic Habits. If you guys aren't subscribed to that, you need to subscribe to that because it's really cool. And usually they always hit me like one way or another. And this one hit me, but I couldn't like figure out how to say anything about it until everything David said and shared about his grandson. So it says, practice the art of small daily discomforts. Modern life is optimized for convenience and comfort. Your food can be delivered straight to your door. Your car seats can be heated. Your favorite show is available at the press of a button. We all enjoy convenience and comfort, myself included, but our bodies and souls yearn for challenge. We want to be stretched. A deeper satisfaction awaits after pushing yourself to learn a challenging concept or complete a humbling workout or have an important but difficult conversation. Should the whole day feel difficult? No, I don't think that's necessary. But a good day, a meaningful and fulfilling day, requires small moments of discomfort. Growth demands discomfort. We need something to push against to learn how strong we can become. So I just kind of thought about that, and I thought, definitely for somebody starting their health point journey, there's a lot of discomfort going on there, even if it's just, physical discomfort, because now you're walking like when poor Eileen first started walking. She barely could walk with her knee problems, but she pushed herself. She went through some discomfort, and look at how far she's come, so I thought, and then, with what David was saying about, to his grandson, the younger generation, they really need to figure it out, but, so after David said that, and I was like, wait, there was that quote that I read a couple weeks ago. So I just thought I would share that.
I think when you're speaking about the younger generation too, Kathy, we must remember they're the younger generation, and so sometimes they're not quite ready to see the world the way we've seen it, having much more experience in Health Point and everything. But they all hang around with people that are slugging down excess, needing rhodiola to cram for exams and what have you. And I think of a young man that is new in our business, and he learned very quickly that what he was a professional at, he could not do the rest of his life. It's very exhausting, very trying, and time intensive, and it will not give him the life that he wants. So sometimes they have to learn that a few years out in the marketplace, doing even what they love to do, but realizing that until they reach out and start duplicating themselves to other people, that they're going to just be at that same grind day in and day out at somebody else's beckoning call. The other thing too is with a young person, like this particular situation I've got, they all know people, their friends, parents, perhaps, that want to knock off some weight. And so I love what Katrina and Kathy Boyle talked about. And it's, oh gosh, I came upon this program and it's just working so well for me. I just absolutely love it. I feel great. And the best thing is I have a coach. You got to meet my coach. And I know, Kathy, you've done that a few times now. And we've done, an introductory meeting for people, various and sundry areas, entrance points in Health Point. But sometimes a brand new young person that doesn't know anything or doesn't even think they want to build a Health Point coaching business can be a tremendous referral to their coach or to their upline mentor, and also pave the way for possibly in the future deciding they want to go into that arena. But it's a pathway.
Do you mind being on camera? I'm actually I'm in a health coaching podcast. Do you mind being on? Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll just say, hey, some friends of mine that are just ran the 5K here, so I'll just do a little. All right. Oh, so sorry. I think I thought I muted myself, but
No,
I
you're
didn't.
fine.
So
You're fine.
so you
That's
heard
good.
what I'm going to say. So look who I just saw here. These are friends of mine. This is Punkheads and Garima, and they just got done running their 5K here at Jackson National Life. High five, guys.
Congratulations.
All right. See ya.
Way to go. Congrats.
All right. Here's what's interesting, guys. That gentleman is actually the guy that I was talking about earlier. Okay, how's that for timing?
That's cool. Perfect. Divine appointment.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that fun? So, okay, sorry again. I thought I was muted there. I'm so sorry for the break-in interruption there, but go ahead.
No, I'm done. No, that was perfect.
Oh,
you didn't break into anything.
Where's Emily?
all right. She is undoubtedly across the finish line. So let me see if I can go kind of find her. And
Please, we need to cheer her on.
Yeah.
I know it. I know it. She might still be on here. Emily, if you're on here, unmute and tell me where you're at. There's only like 10,000 people around here. I don't know if you can see the crowd there, but
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
hey,
Emily.
Emily, where are you at, Emily? I know it's hard to say where you're at in something like that. Emily, if you're able to, go ahead.
I said I'm rushing home to be with my parents. So
Oh, gotcha. So you're all right. Well, hey,
I'm
you're
already left.
Well, we can cheer you anyway. Way to go, Emily.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Yeah, I'm happy with my time. So it's really cool.
What was your time? Do you know it off the top of your head?
I run 9 minutes 30 mile.
Wow.
Nice job.
Wow.
Way
Wow.
to go.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is someone that also Emily ran, and many of you we were actually, it was another Saturday episode. It was the Amway Riverbank run, the 25K. And actually something else that I wanted to key in on, Emily, since you're kind of engaged here, when Kathy was talking about James Clear and do something difficult every day and kind of build that muscle, so to speak, it makes me think of Emily because do you guys know who Jocko is? Jocko Willink. I don't know if that rings a bell, or many of you probably have heard of the name David Goggins. Okay, Goggins is like a verb. If you're going to like lean it, if you're going to proactively choose to do something difficult, Emily and I call that Goggins it. We're going to Goggins it. Okay.
Okay.
So if you've never heard of these people, David Goggins wrote, I think, more than one book. Emily, you might be aware, but I know the one book he wrote the title is something like "Can't Break Me" or something like that. I mean, what a title! Can't break me. And it's the story of his life to that date. And I think in the cover he's dressed in military whites. I mean, just a a stud. And then you reading his life story, and it's truly tragic. It's actually pretty a rough story just to read. I won't do a spoiler alert here and tell you, because I would encourage anybody that hasn't read it to read it, but to get to where he is, from where he came from in terms of his childhood and so forth, and his own, he was in excess of 300 pounds and so forth, is just extraordinary. But what he is all about, and in the same way, Jocko is also this guy. He's like this, he is a Navy SEAL, or was a Navy SEAL, or one of the special forces, and he looks like it. I mean, there's some Navy SEALs that look like they're a desk worker, and then there's other Navy SEALs where you're like, I don't want to see you in a dark alley. I mean, they like have that big jawbone and they just look like they can just squish you like a grape, you know. That's Jocko. And both of these individuals are basically about what James Clear is talking about, and Kathy, what you were talking about is, you know, we have to more and more in this growing age of convenience and I mean, we've got couches, we got remotes. I mean, that's decades ago, right? We don't have to get up to change the TV. We can just, you know, hit the remote, and it just goes and goes and goes. And now in James Clear's, or what Kathy was reading about James Clear, we're talking about like DoorDash, where you don't even have to walk to your car and turn the key or whatever. You can just press an app on your phone and have the food come to you. Okay, I'm not saying whether that's good or bad. I'm just saying that it is what it is. We've got remote controls, we've got DoorDash, we've got this. So what is happening to our resiliency muscle? What is happening to our grit muscle? And what I love about what Kathy was talking about with James Clear is it emphasizes a proactive step, like, hey, you know, you've got to figure out things. And this is what Emily is, you know, routinely doing. She's doing things to build that muscle. Cold showers, you know, doing a workout at an hour of the night that honestly, it eclipses what I would do. And yet, you know, I'm like, where's Emily? And then I go down into the basement and she's like busting it out on a treadmill. And she's just like, I'm dodging it, you know, that's what she's doing. Her steps, you know, just making sure getting the steps in. And so I think, you know, really that takes a proactive stance and a proactive attitude. And I love that you covered that, Kathy. I really appreciate that. All right, where are we at on time? Ooh, look at that. We are right around, I think we're right, if my eyesight is correct, we are at the closing time. I'm going to just take the last minute or so here, walk towards the finish line, and I will disable my earbuds so that the noise does come in, and we'll kind of sign off like that. Again, for those that are new to this, we will get this episode uploaded onto the YouTube channel, Voices of Health Point, so you can catch this. And I'll make sure that I do that Continuum image as kind of the cover photo of it. So, all right, guys, let me disable this. I probably won't be able to hear you when I do this, but let me do it anyways.
I do want to say one thing, though. I kind of think Carol can give Emily a run for her money.
I don't know if you can hear the music now, but anyhow, this is, you know, thank you, Emily, for signing up for yet another race. You're an example of building your own health and getting healthier and healthier. She is, when she does her function health test, some of you might be familiar with that, her metabolic age is like 15 years younger than her biological age. So great job, Emily. Anyhow, guys, if there's nothing else, we will wrap up today's episode, and we will see everyone next week, same place, same time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a great
Have a
week.
great
See
week.
you Monday night.